Ireland's coast is absolutely beautiful and our marine environment is incredibly rich.
So much of Ireland is the waters beyond our shores. When you add the seabed and all the waters above that Ireland is responsible for, we are one of the biggest countries in Europe. 10 times our landmass. Our waters provide food, employment, enjoyment. Our seas help regulate our climate, but they are under threat, and Ireland has big international obligations.
Fishermen who remember the 1970s and 80s will tell you they were bringing in boats full of herring, full of cod, whiting, plaice, haddock. That's all gone now.
Competing for space in Irish waters are the creatures who live there and humans passing through, and the impact can be severe. What are we looking at?
I hate to say it, I mean, we're looking at a dead basking shark, a freshly dead basking shark. We have to do better here.
Ireland has committed that by 2030, 30% of our waters will be designated as marine protected areas. But the legislation to make this happen is still awaited, 6 years after a government-convened expert group recommended it.
We're really facing a very urgent challenge in lots of ways, and it's a great shame that the legislation has been delayed for so long. Really, people are looking for legislation that has real teeth, but there's a high level of stakeholder engagement and transparency as well.
Scientists may agree, but many who work at sea don't want more rules.
Well, first of all, I think we broadly don't need them, but like the devil will always be in the detail. Who are you protecting from? Are you protecting areas from fishermen, or just say protecting from marine exploration, or there's a whole heap of questions there.
Kilmore Quay, County Wexford, one of many coastal communities relying on the fishing industry for many types of employment, from those working at sea to those on land, and serving up food to hungry visitors. This town is wedded to the water. What did you come back with today?
Well, we were fishing some lobsters today. It was a small few lobsters, small few crabs.
A fisherman all his life, Aidan Scallon works a small boat in Kilmore. How hard a job is it?
It's a tough job, it is. It's not for everyone. Being in the wheelhouse is mentally and physically pressurising, just to try and get your days catching and do everything that you need to do to keep the boat safe, keep your crew safe and get home safe.
Now, this talk of marine protected areas and places where you mightn't be allowed fish, could something like that be a good thing that might increase fish stocks?
I couldn't see it. Fishermen we're guardians of the sea. If the government was really serious about it, they would give fishermen more options to diversifying. They should come talk to us if they want to know what's going on out there.
On the other side of the quay, I meet Seamus O'Flaherty, whose company runs 19 trawlers, in total employing around 100 people. These vessels operate far out in the water, trawling the bottom of the sea. These are the nets that we're talking about.
Yeah. You can see that net, look, that's a very, very light net. That's what we're moving towards. Now, that moves across the seabed. It doesn't have much effect on it.
Okay.
You can see that this beam here is 8 metres long, right?
Yeah.
And okay, that chain is designed to pass over rocks. Now, the chain is probably the most destructive part, but even so, it goes over it goes over the ground in a couple of seconds.
Seamus's trawlers are big, but there are even bigger vessels trawling the seabed in waters Ireland has responsibility for. If marine protected areas were established here, bottom trawling would be the main activity affected. Some people find these beam trawlers controversial. The ground is scraped. What's beneath the water is disturbed by human activity.
Disturbing the ground is not a bad thing. Well, what we do is we stir up the ground. Like that ground will regenerate very, very quickly. As soon as the boat has passed over it, there's other fish straight in to see what's been stirred up. It's like a farmer ploughing his field, right? To me, the people who propose a lot of these things have probably never been out at sea. They're probably, their knowledge is got from watching Dave and Attenborough, and they discount the knowledge that people who are fishermen have over a lifetime.
This footage, captured in another part of the world by David Attenborough's team, shows bottom trawling on an industrial scale.
A modern industrial bottom trawler scours the ocean floor with a chain or metal beam, forcing anything it disturbs into the net behind. It smashes its way across the seabed, destroying nearly everything in its path.
Ecologist Pádraig Fogarty says the science is clear.
So bottom trawling is one of the most destructive forms of fishing we know. Now, trawling isn't farming, it's hunting and gathering using industrial techniques, and really what it's doing is just ripping all of the life off the seafloor.
On a trip off the Dublin coast, Pádraig says less fishing is what is needed if stocks are to replenish.
There's as near as we have to a magic solution to get fish back into the sea is what's called marine protected areas. And basically it's to stop fishing, or at least to reduce the fishing pressure in particular areas. And that's been proven to work all over the world. But we haven't tried it in Ireland yet. Ireland has been a laggard in terms of achieving protection in coastal waters. Many countries around Europe already have that 30% designated.
What would marine protected areas look like?
It would mean we would work with scientists to identify the best places for these areas. We would restrict fishing, have low-impact fishing that's very carefully managed, so that there would be no fishing at all within maybe 1/3 of those areas.
Long-promised legislation, but still not in place. A Green Party member and former Minister for Nature said he couldn't get it over the line in the last government. What is the hold-up?
But one of the regrets I do have is not getting the MPA legislation over the line. We fought hard, it's in the programme for government. We worked diligently to try and get it through, but unfortunately we ran out of road at the end. It was a drafting problem.
When you say it's a drafting problem, why do things take so long?
It's a very complex piece of legislation. There's a lot of competing interests. There's offshore renewables, there's cables, DC cables, there's discussions around deep sea mining, all of these things. The critical thing is to have management plans in place for those sites and ensure that we can protect them, that they can be patrolled, that we have our naval services is equipped to do its work in terms of enforcement.
A government ban will soon take effect on the industrial fishing of sprat, a vital fish for marine life. So new protective measures are coming, but nothing like more extensive laws long promised. Tasman Crowe led the team which recommended legislation to establish marine protected areas.
There is a real pressure on us to raise our game. Overharvesting and damage to the seabed by certain forms of fishing are widely considered the most significant threats to marine life. But in our coastal environments, our ecosystems are being degraded by pollution, runoff from the land. And broadly, our marine systems are also under pressure from invasive species and particularly from climate change.
Studies of the Irish and Celtic seas discovered 80 endangered species that merit protection.
I think a lot of people think that designating an MPA means that we have to stop all human activity in them, and that's not the case at all. There needs to be an evidence-based process of determining which particular activities could potentially impact on the species and habitats you're trying to conserve.
Some of the things happening in our waters are truly unique, not seen anywhere else in the world. Among the dozens of endangered species off Ireland's coast, basking sharks, which migrate en masse to our waters each year. They have an unlikely champion. Joe Batt works at Dublin Port. His passion has seen him drop everything and head west.
I was sitting there across from the boss and I got a message to say there's basking sharks breaching. When I got there, I seen a splash or two in the water. I was like, that's the sharks. Sent the drone out, couldn't find anything. It was getting dark, it was getting late into the sunset. And I sent the drone out again, but I went a bit further out and I splashed. And I went over towards the splash and there was 50, 60 sharks in the water, just flat, calm water, beautiful conditions. And they're all just synchronising together in formations. Kind of spectacular, to be fair, yeah.
I met up with self-confessed shark nerd, Dr. Nick Payne.
It's a really incredible phenomenon where you have animals that are 6, 8, even 10 metres in size circling around each other for hours at a time. And we don't even really know where they've come from. So this thing appears almost out of nowhere every August, September, and we see dozens and hundreds of these animals circling each other, this very sort of elegant dance that they seem to play with each other, and then, hey presto, they disappear.
You see this footage? Like, this is kind of a treasure trove of information.
Right. It's really when you have that height that you can see how many there are. We don't see this anywhere else in the world. So this is a very, very unusual and special phenomenon that we have here in Ireland. And we still really don't have a clue why they're doing it. Pretty certain this is some kind of social interaction. It might even be maybe a precursor to mating or reproduction. What's interesting, though, is we only really see what's on top. And once you get in the water, you see that circle probably goes down maybe 20, 30 metres, and there might be another 20 to 30 animals.
There are layers then beneath.
Layers, yeah. And it even looks like you have males in one layer and then females on another layer.
It is amazing.
It is amazing. It's super cool, yeah.
Basking sharks are a protected species under the Wildlife Act, but some fall victim to humans.
When I was there filming that day, a boat came flying through the area, and I could see him from a mile off. I said, he's going to go right over the sharks. But none of the sharks' fins were above the surface, so he doesn't know that they're there. So he's just flying through, oblivious to anything's below him. And lo and behold, there's 30 sharks under the boat. And you can actually see them just all dip off and spread off.
Nick, these images, these are taken in 2025 off the west coast of Ireland.
Yeah, hate to see it. I mean, we're looking at a dead basking shark wrapped in some kind of rope and looks like fishing equipment. If you're to pick the one place in the world and the one time where it's the worst place to have, you know, things in the water that can kill these animals, that's the place. And so I think maybe this is like a good thing that we have people going into the water and documenting this stuff. And I don't want to come across like I'm blaming the fishermen here. The fishermen are working within the rules. So they're doing what they're allowed to do. My point is this currently very predictable, repeatable occurrence of the amazing aggregation of basking sharks in this one place. We should say, OK, this is a high-risk scenario.
The UK is very close to getting 30% of its waters designated as marine protected areas. Irish fishermen are already feeling the effects of UK laws, like a protected zone 75 miles off the Wexford coast.
As of the 22nd of April last year, the English closed that box. I cannot fish. The week before that, I was fishing up and down there. Okay. And then from the 22nd of April, I couldn't fish in it no more. Okay. Little box there.
So that's one of those, that's a marine protected area.
Marine protected area.
That the English, or the British have put in place,
And here's another one here, this one here.
Each line on this screen represents a trawl this vessel made far off the coast. I see the keep out.
Yeah.
Did you put that on
I put that on it myself, yeah.
So you'll know
you
can't be going there anymore.
Yeah.
After a week at sea, another of Seamus's vessels arrives back into County Wexford with a large catch. These fishermen already work within multiple rules and regulations about where they fish and what they can catch. Although the legislation is still not in place, more rules are coming.
The risk we have today is that we'll forget what the abundance of the past was like, and we'll be happy with what we have today. Impressive as it is, it's only a shadow of what it used to be. So I think if we can work together on this between scientists and the fishing community, the future actually is much brighter than it would be at the moment if we did nothing.
People have lived here and prospered here since the 1840s on fish that they caught, right? You know, you can't wipe that out. You can't replace it. People around here don't want to be just tour guides taking people out to see the whales.